Good afternoon, good evening, and hello to all the Frag fans around the world. My name is Justin, they call me Cyberwaste on the interwebs, and you are watching the WESG Asia Pacific quarterfinals, powered by CappingTV. We are about to watch a best of three series between Parallax and NSPR, a New Zealand versus Thailand matchup going on right now. We are currently waiting for the Go TVs, but the veto has already been and done. We are going to Inferno to open. That was the pick of NSPR. And the pick of Parallax was Train and then Overpass to conclude. All right. So the 10 players are now in the server, at least according to HLTV. We're currently waiting on a Go TV IP. And obviously the first map is Inferno, and we still have not had any progress. I will make do with the scoreboard for the time being, but things are being a little bit confusing. But in the meantime, we'll bring you up to speed with how the teams got to this predicament throughout the tournament. Parallax did open the proceedings. They are currently undefeated in WESG so far. They had a barn burner of an absolute marathon against Control, which they won 22 rounds to 19. And then Inferno against Wolfhound was a much easier affair, going forward 16-2. And then against Leopard, which you saw earlier, 16 rounds to 8. Well, the TV saw earlier anyway. And then just before, against New 4, the Chinese, presumably powerhouse, according to some of the experts on Train, they went to overtime again, 22-19. It looks like there is a tech issue on site. So in the it could seem like old time radio until a Go TV IP can actually be found. We will refresh and make sure that everything is up to speed. Again, I'll now run down how NSPR ended up coming here. They had a bit of a tougher trot. To open up their WESG campaign, they played against Singaporean team Boot, which they lost 16-14 on Mirage, and that would mean they had to fight back through the losers' side, where they won against the Vietnamese team Game TV, not Go TV, 16 rounds to 7, and then against Scars Absolute, the Japanese squad, 16-12. That's what I found out that SZ stands for. It's for the Scars organization, which is a little bit of an interesting tidbit. And to open, they've already played one set today, which was against the Hong Kong team of EMC, which was a quick and easy affair. If I bring up the best of three stats, it was 16-3 and then 16-9. So a quick and easy 2-0 for them to get to this current space in time against the team of Parallax. And I will run you down your lineups very, very shortly when we get them on screen. It would appear that we have already started, and I thought that was still in warm-ups, but it would appear that is not the case. We are currently 3 rounds in. It looks like it was all clean so far, with one defusal though, that being in the second round. Both teams are fully bought up. Sicko, Gratisfaction, and Seven are a little bit dinged up already. But we'll have to wait and see how the round transpires. We're only 120 left on the timer, so there is plenty of time for the teams to even themselves out. Rez is still alive, but barely breathing on 2 HP. The orb on his back will either be palmed off or be a sacrificial bait later on, but we will sit down and wait and think. Looks like Greta's faction and crits will take frags in the favor. 4 versus 3 in favor of the Thai squad. Lonsdale was square the ledger, getting a headshot onto Olivia. The bomb will go down. Still at a stalemate. The bomb is about to explode. About 5 seconds left on the timer. It would appear that the trading teams have decided to back off, and it looks like Parallax will keep their weapons. The bomb will go up. That'll be the first round for NSPR. 3 will survive for the side of Parallax, though. And they are more than equipped to buy, especially with Sicko, who is currently on $9,050. That is before the round change. While we have a little bit of a breather, I will run you down your lineups. On the side of Parallax, on the defending side, we have Gratisfaction, Sicko, Lonsdale, Raz, and Nick. And on the side of NSPR, we have Crits, Myrolls, Vita, Olivia, and 789, which is actually spelled out the word 7 and then 89 at the end in numerics, which is kind of groovy. An orb on each side, which is really interesting, and damage already exchanged. NSPR is getting the upper hand on that one earlier on. Sicko already tagged, then eliminated. Myrolls will get 2 to his name. Nick will avenge him. And Gratisfaction will sit Olivia down with the M4. Chris will stop Gratisfaction's participation in the round 2. Very early on. Now a minute to go in the round. 789. A little bit worse for Ware as well. Crits, Raz and 789 exchange once again now. 1 versus 2 for Raz with the orb on his back. The bomb has gone down. It is up to the T's to defend and Raz to infiltrate. If it were my indication, he would try to either set himself up in a pair of 1 versus 1s or just try to retreat. Well, he won't be retreating anymore. He will be carried away in a casket. 789 will put a footnote on that round, and now it is 3-2 in favor of Parallax. But the economy for Parallax appears to have run dry. So they are left in a little bit of a dilemma to either buy in or just let the tie come in, let NSPR win a round, and then see where they go from there. Three Deagles, 2 P250s. Gratis quickly eliminated. Same with Veta. It would appear they're just wanting to get this round out of the way and get themselves to a better standing. Sicko and Raz are still up with 2 Deagles, maybe wanting to make a little bit of headway. Olivia with the Mac 10 on the side of NSPR, perhaps wanting to do a 4-run or a recon run and try to get more money to bolster the economy of the T side, which may come into being a factor a little later on. Still at a deadlock. The bomb has gone down. Then Amaros, Olivia will take out Sicko with a headshot for the Mac 10, and Veta will put Raz out of commission. That is a clean round for NSPR and a 3-3 scoreline. We are tied going in number 7. And it is up to seeing what Parallax chooses to do now. It appears they have bought in. What they plan to do is anyone's guess, really. Sicko has the orb on his back. Gratis has head armor better for Mars, 2 M4s, and the UMP on Nick, and the full set of weaponry on NSPR still stands, and the AWP is on the back of Veta. 789 and Myros will get prize their name for NSPR. Raz will get one for himself before being taken out. NSPR from running away. It seems that the teams are currently at a stalemate. The bomb has exploded. Olivia did go down, and that is the target destroyed for NSPR. And it appears someone has dropped from the stores, is more than likely going to be called by Parallax until Nick returns. Unfortunately, we still have no word on a GoTV, so we are making do with an old-fashioned radio cast with the HLTV scorebot providing assistance. So use your imagination. It would appear that Nick has returned. So we should be resuming very shortly. NSPR has pulled ahead after winning 4 on the trot, 2 by elimination and 2 by detonating the target. So the scoreboard is being a little bit broken until the round actually starts. Yeah, the round's official and underway. Freeze time is coming in. That is very strange. It would appear that the 2 weapons were carried over. Sicko tagged up very early. More likely eating a leg shot from Veta, down to 14 HP very early on. And definitely leaving Parallax on the back foot. But Gratis will get a 1D go to Olivia. So that's made NSPR think twice before pulling off any sort of plan with Gratis at his deagle. So an even keel at 4 versus 4 with 1 minute 10 left in round number 8. Biding their time. 3 members of Parallax are armored up, so Gratis faction may be acting like the sacrificial lamb. Is down to 32. 2 members of NSPR are heavily tagged as well, with Crits and 789 being on single-digit HP. So that may stunt a potential push or make them turn into meat shields, depending on the circumstances. But down to 35 seconds, it may be time for NSPR's hand to be forced. Marals will torch Sicko to death and make it an even kill. Lonsdale will take out Veta. The bomb will go down. Myros will take out Lonsdale. Now it is a 2 versus 2 between Gratis faction, Nick, Myros, and Crits. And Nick and his CZ75 will take care of both of them in quick succession. So now we are tied again at 4 apiece going into round number 9. And it looks like these 2 teams thus far have been very evenly matched, which could make for a very interesting and potentially long series. NSPR is still able to buy in, so the job for Parallax is still not done. They've still got a lot of work to do to sort of humble the terrorist side and make them sort of think twice about using their economy. We have double AWPs for Parallax, 1 on Raz and 1 on Gratis faction. I'll be curious to see how those end up faring in the proceedings. Not to much avail, according to Gratis Faction. He has been taken out of the round by crits by the AK-47. Crits will take down Nick as the numbers are thinning. Crits will get 2 to his name. That makes him 3 on the round. Now 1 versus 4 for Sicko. And the bomb will go down. So it is up to Sicko to make his choice. And that looks like Myros will answer my question, taking out Sicko in prompt order. That is NSPR taking the lead now in a 5 versus 4. As a potential side note, the Thai community in a lot of games has definitely started to make waves in the esports scene, and I hope that they do the same for Counter-Strike. I know that the talent is there. We all know that the talent is there. Well, looking at NSPR's run is very hard to refute. Gratis will rip 789's torso out of his chest, and Crits will square it up by taking Lons out of the round. Earls will get 1 to his name too. Raz not having a good time at the moment. Barely started and frags already started to fly. Here, a lot of the teams are adopting a strong arm approach, just blunt forcing their way onto sites and into duels. So 2 CZs and an AWP on the back of Parallax. Perhaps 2 AWPs now. Nick has retrieved 1. If the bomb does go down, it would be very wise for Gratis and Nick to run away with their weapons and try to carry them over to round number 11. Gratis does take down Crits. So we are down to a 3 versus 3. In terms of firepower, you'd favor NSPR, but not so much anymore with Gratis and Sicko singing out now. Now Veta in a 1 versus 3. Nick is heavily tagged, but that does not mean much for the bomb, for the weapon that is on his back. We are square again with Nick putting the footnote onto round number 10. 2 AWPs are carried over and a little bit of armor as well, and we are tied at 5 after 10 rounds. So another full buy round is on the cards. We're moving into full freeze. Oof. Maros just gets absolutely plastered and deleted from the server in quick turn. Leaving NSPR on the back foot, making them probably second guess their plans for this round with 1 pivotal piece taken out. Maros definitely holding his own at a 9 and 7 line at the moment with 2 assists. The 2 front runners being Crits and Gratis Faction, both on 11 frags apiece. So sharing a line, except for Gratis Faction with 2 assists and Crits getting all the frags on his own. Coming down to a minute, Gratis Faction will be silenced by Olivia. Olivia will be taken out by Raz and avenged with the AWP. So a 3 versus 4. NSPR to potentially make a headway. Is tagged up a little bit. He does have the AWP. So he is essentially crew expendable in the grand scheme of things. Chris will take out Lonsdale with the AK. We will have a radio cast for this round to conclude, and then we will be getting back into the game and seeing it all in glorious color. Venom will take out 2 with the AWP, and on that note, Venom with a huge 3K will tip the round in NSPR's favor and bring them to 6. And if you are Parallax, you have got to be seething off of that, and especially with Venom's AWP. You've got to be fuming off of that. Now with the potential eco on the cards for Parallax, yeah, that's definitely an eco on the cards for Parallax. We will bring the game up as soon as we can. Should be a mere formality. Two players are armored up on the side of Parallax, though, so that could be a factor. Not so far with my rolls taking out Raz very early. Still at a stalemate. $1:15 left, and NSPR not really taking any chances, especially given how some of the rounds have gone and how tight they have had the potential of being. They're not cutting any corners. Sicko holding the arch with the deagle has smoked off top Nana, so that has perhaps stunted the potential advancement of NSPR for the time being. Satisfaction was going on a flank, but Vetter will silence him. Nick will bring 7-8-9 to the bench with a headshot for the CZ. 3 versus 4. Although you can be scared for Vetter because he is very tagged up on 46 HP, and with these power pistols, anything can happen. The ASA has been completely abandoned by Parallax, and they are looking to retake, but Marrolls and crits will quickly silence that, and now it is only Nick with the AK hook, which he was aiming to save, but crits will prevent that from happening. And that is round 12 concluded. That is 7 to the name of NSPR, and Parallax yet again having to take a round for themselves to lose because of their economic woes. Of course, they'll buy pistols into it. Lonsdale with a CZ and armor, and that is basically all the investment aside from a few power pistols and a single flash on Sicko as well. Just wanting to make NSPR pay for their manpower, but they will have to take out crits because he is the most bolstered in terms of the economy. Nick wanting to try his luck. We'll take out 7-8-9 with the USP and finish off my rolls as well. So they're making it a little bit expensive. Vetter will silence him through the box. If Parallax can get one more and maybe even pick up a weapon, that could be potentially be a huge momentum swing, because that will effectively bleed any extra money that NSPR would have, especially on crits, because he's on 8350. That could potentially bleed out any potential cushioning for money. It's like they're aiming for a B hit. Gratisfaction is the only line of defense. Well, someone's hurried it up. Raz was hoping to hold crits in place, but that was not going to happen. It would appear that they've started to back off. It could be to the detriment, because there is a weapon that was at the top of Nana, and that's exactly what he is going to pick up. Gratisfaction more than likely will just aim to carry that AK over. The Gratisfaction is at bottom mid and now hiding in the tunnel. And that is enough of that. Parallax will actually get him from second mid. The names are actually different on the server to the HLTV. For those that are wondering, the player that is named as Petrash is actually Olivia. He's decided to use his real name in-game, which is noble. I appreciate that. But I'll still attempt to address the player as Olivia because that is the handle that was presented to me by HLTV. We have a full buy. Gratisfaction will let it ring, bringing my rolls to 0 HP and out of the round. Gratis again being a force to be reckoned with, sitting out 7, 8, 9 and bringing Vetov down very low as well. That will need a molly for his troubles at his old position. Parallax making them go on their toes. Lonsdale will stick crits out as well. So Veta and Olivia are the only lines of offense now for the Thai squad. Sitting deep in the A site, fully expecting NSPR to advance. Olivia will take out Raz and Veta will get the better of Gratisfaction. Now it's 2 versus 1, but it's Veta. Yes, he has an AWP, but he is heavily tagged and has 2 targets to look for. That smoke may have given Nick away. We'll wait and see though. Sicko is sitting at Boiler, perhaps waiting for Veta to potentially advance. And advance he will. Veta is actually in the pit. And if Nick moves out far enough, his shoulder will be seen by him from the pit. But gets Veta to fire a shot. While he is chambering a new round, Nick will get the better of him. And now we are on the last round of the first half. And after a back and forth affair, at least in terms of manpower and a few very odd rounds, we have reached the end of the first half. We are on the last round. And with everything said and done, both teams are at their max capacity. So it'll be a true test of skill. Imagine people with the smiley pictures. It's a silly, silly anecdote. We're moving into 115. We're still at a stalemate. Chris may have seen the shoulder of Lonsdale, or maybe he heard him creeping around from the top of apartments. As does get the Molotov off, but NSPR is starting to move forward. Maros will win the duel versus Rats. That may be the signal to move. That's definitely the signal to move now, with Lonsdale being taken out. 789 will firebomb off Arch and take out 2 for himself. And now, in the blink of an eye, it is only Nick versus the Thai forces of NSPR in a 1 versus 5. The bomb is down. This site is really tough to infiltrate, especially with as little utility as Nick has. He is very low, and now he is very dead. It is 9-6 in favor of NSPR at the change in the quarterfinal of WESG between Parallax and NSPR, a New Zealand versus Thailand rivalry, which is proving to be a tooth and nail affair, even judging by the numbers alone, because we had a little bit of a radio tie, which was fun. But now at the change, let's run over your standout players. Crit's just running amok with 16 frags to his name. And other than that, it's been pretty even, with Olivia being down to 7 kills and 9 deaths. And on the side of Parallax, Raz is having a rough time. If anybody's got a Parallax symbol and put it in chat, that would be lovely, because he needs your energy right now. We have 3 pieces of utility, 2 members armored up, and 1 power pistol on the side of Lonsdale. They're aiming to do a patented rush it down strat. Moving on to the B site. Olivia's aiming to put a stop to that by taking down Nick. Lonsdale running through the smoke will take down Myros, but Veta and Olivia will silence the critics. And Sicko was all that was left. And that is the end of that. A 2k for Veta, 2k for Olivia. And that is NSPR getting to double digits and winning the second pistol round. And let's take a quick note at Kritz's MP9. That is a bulldozer MP9, and that is a gorgeous skin. I'm a sucker for weird and simple things. We have 4 members armored up, excuse me, for Parallax, and 4 Deagles and a CZ75. Meanwhile, on the defending side of NSPR, we have 2 Clarions, an UMP, an MP9, and a Scout on Veta. And if Veta's scope weaponry is any indication, he will be a force to be feared. This will silence the advancing Nick from Parallax. One of the armored players done. Lonsdale's armor's moving out towards the balcony. 7, 8, 9, and Olivia wanting to sort of fire some warning shots and make Parallax second guess where they advance. 3 are up at top 9, so it looks like a big hit maybe on the cards. 7, 8, 9 will call out that there is a body there. He will dump some shots at the Greatest Faction, making him go down to 29. Greatest Faction with the fadeaway 1 dig onto 7, 8, 9. Chris and Veta will chime in to try to save the ship. Petra will do as well. And that was getting a little bit scary, but they end up getting the round of the board and do NSPR, and that will bring them to 11. Parallax still on 6 and left in a dilemma. Do they force up again? And it looks like they are choosing not to, only going to buy power pistols and wait until the next round to try to contest. So that will, barring any shenanigans, bring NSPR to 12. We have 2 MP9s as well. So knowing that they will invest, that the opposition will invest very little, 7, 8, 9 and Maros will aim to farm a ton of cash and bolster the far more expensive CT economy. Ooh, Olivia getting dinked down though. That's one of the Clarions that could potentially be lost. And a bonking team member with a smoke grenade. But it looks like Myros and Veta will put an end to that advancement. He gets a 4K on the round. 2 with the, I think it was a 2 or 3 with the MP9. So that now we begin the true test. 4 AKs on the side of Parallax. And lots of smokes and flashes and a Molotov on Greatest Faction, so he's wanting to get a little bit of that barbecue going on. Aggression seems to be the name of the game in these. It looks like it's continue. Veta will see the body but not hit it with his scout, and he will pay dearly with it going down to 27 HP. He may actually think twice about using the scout now, unless it's from a way back position where it's a little bit less effective. Whereas throwing a molly out towards quad. Looks expecting Myros to be there, which is very much the case. There's cleaned out Nana. The attacking side is starting to make their decision final. And Lonsdale will be bleeding out and dead in the apartments at the hands of Myros. Going through the door, balcony. That is very low as well. 7, 8, 9 on a huge flank as well. Crits and Myros may not even need his assistance. Just squishing the entire attack of Parallax. And that is 13 for NSPR, and Parallax left with a tough choice. It looks like it's an obvious choice too. They are looking to buy the pistols into the round, but give NSPR another round and just try to make it more expensive for the Thai squad moving forward. I'm stuck at Nana again. Seems a recurring theme for this Thai squad. They send 3 members to A, 1 perhaps floating around as a mediator, and 2 towards B. Top Nana presence is very strong for Parallax. And wonder if 789 has called that out and noticed it yet. Definitely has now, bringing out those pre-fire shots. Raz hoping to get a not lucky 1 dig, but it is not to be. They're pegging a nade out. Not quite doing the damage he was perhaps hoping for. Does tickle Gratis and Lonsdale. Really taking it slow. Lonsdale will sit out 789. Olivia will take out Gratis faction in turn, but the pistols are proving too strong. The 2k for Nick, a frag for Raz, and a frag for Sicko. And in the most Australia and Z way possible, they get a round on the board, buying another of pistols, and perhaps leaving NSPR very, very red-faced. But NSPR are very hemorrhage for cash too, so this is pivotal for Parallax to win if they want to continue to close the gap. Grass Faction will make a good start on that by taking out Maros. Doesn't eat a lot of damage for his trouble though, down to 59. Lonsdale making a bullet whiff right between his legs and apartments. Fritz and Olivia being the only force at top. Nana to be contending with. Raz has been traded. 4 versus 3 for Parallax to perhaps aim to keep from getting square, but Olivia and Veta will shrink the matchup down, and Lonsdale will do the same. Now it is a 2 versus 2. We are dead even, and Lonsdale has a very angry CT on his tail. That being the man of Olivia. Hanging around the library position. Raz faction has put the bomb down. The smoke goes down to make sure Gratis can go into the pit safely. Now it is up to Olivia at 789 to retake. Firebomb could be crucial. The Molotov on the back of 789 could be paying money, but Gratis faction will not be flushed out, and Lonsdale will finish it all off. That is 8 for Parallax now, and that will force NSPR to either eco or force. But if you force in this sort of situation, that would just be overconfidence, which they do not have any right to exude. No, they do have the Mag 7 on the side of Olivia, so they partially invested. Interesting. I would love to see where the number 6 man of Olivia actually goes by the end. Looks like he's going into B's site near Oranges. Let it ring out and then Graz making him pay. Lonsdale, Graz faction and Sicko shrinking the manpower down for NSPR. The Mag 7 got quickly dispatched of. Sicko not able to quite hit the precision that he's known for, and that will give 789 an AK for his trouble. And with barring any shenanigans, he may be able to hang on to that AK going into round number 23. That will be another one on the board for Parallax. Going into it will be a buy, but how strong it will be remains to be seen. If 789 can actually hold on to this rifle, Lonsdale's not making it easy for him by throwing a Molotov there and promptly flushing him out and retrieving the lost AK back for Parallax, and that will be 9 to their name. And with the average of, say, $4,000 to $5,000. It looks like NSPR are good to end up going into this round with a decent buy. Again with the Nana aggression to it, top Nana to deal with Sicko, but Sicko will take out Olivia, and this will avenge him in quick turn. Raz whiffing a crucial AWP shot on to crits that could end up being painful. Morals on the other side of the map will take out Lonzo. It looks like they're aiming to collapse onto the A site, and Veta in pit is the only line of defense. Lonzo will be dropped though. He was weak, but Veta will be erased by Gratis faction, and Gratis will put the bomb down the site. A 3 versus 2 for Parallax to defend. And if you're NSPR, do you think about the long term or want to retake it? It looks like they are having no part of it. They are wanting to hang on to their weaponry, which is entirely understandable when you see what they have. They have an AK, head armor, an AWP, which is 4750, and a piece of will make Parallax second guess by taking out Kratos faction, wanting to make a go, to give it a go, but they ended a stalemate, and Parallax will survive with 2 and get 10 on the board. It really did fracture the economy of NSPR, though. They're doing the armored pistol to perhaps get to a 14th round, which is not out of the question, given what we saw earlier. Raz eating a nade really hard early on. Raz faction being tagged by a little bit of friendly fire. It could be a cause for a little bit of banter a little later on, but Raz faction is hovering on 62 health. Lonsdale caught completely unawares, lose the duel, the crits in apartments. That will be an AK retrieved as well. So the early man advantage for NSPR, not for much longer though, with Nick getting the 4-3 swish from downtown on the crits. That will square the manpower. And now with only one defender left on the A, the reinforcements for NSPR will have to come quick. Olivia on the flank in mid will take out Sicko as well. So that's left a lot of the members of Parallax in a very precarious position to move to try and move the bomb forward. Raz, seeing the body of 789 start to advance, and silence him quick smart. We are in a 3 versus 3. My rolls is still in the sight. Olivia is still untouched. Nick maybe caught complete. A 3 versus 2, a 3 versus 1 now for Gratis faction against Olivia, Myros, and Veta. Myros will whiff a shot there. Entirely doable for Gratis faction, but the bomb is down on the site, and it will leave Gratis faction with no choice but to retreat and hang on to his AK. And on a very shaky buy, NSPR not only win the round, but they end up coming better for it because they retrieve 2 AWPs and an AK to toss around, which will lessen the burden of the rebuys for NSPR. Alex definitely not taking that without a fight. Definitely with full utility aside from Sicko. Crowd's faction quickly dispatched by Veta. Veta truly coming alive now after being kind of silent in the first half. Sicko will bench 789, but Olivia will promptly avenge his fallen comrade. A 4 versus 3 very early on. The bomb is down in the bottom mid position and starting to make its way up, but it would take a lot for NSPR to sort of move their forces. It may take a couple of crucial frags by either Lonsdale or the man in apartments being Nick, is starting to move his way out. But Miles will leave his shoulder exposed and Lonsdale will make him pay. A 3 versus 3. And now the defense is significantly weaker until the Orb of Feathers shows up in Library. Lonsdale wanted to take the duel and gets it. Against all premonition, now it is a 3 versus 2 for Parallax. The bomb is starting to make its way in. Crispy, the last line of defense, will get one, but Nick will avenge him. Now, Olivia in a 1 versus 2 with the big green gun. Raz with the quick fadeaway will silence him. And that is 11 now for Parallax. And the gap is shrinking ever closer to an even keel. And the economic standard for NSPR indicates that the shrinking will continue, barring any strange occurrences in this round. Armor and a kit onto 789 just in case the bomb does go down. For some weird reason, they end up winning the round and requiring a defuse, but that could still pay dividends if he ends up surviving, even if all his comrades go down. A little bit of friendly fire in the proceedings too. Brothers faction getting assistance from Raz in that kill. Was that? And crits getting frags as well, but Sicko trying to make it respectable, but the attack of Parallax is falling apart ever so slowly. 789 caught with a knife out. Both players very low. Sicko will get the better of 789, but it could have been a very different scenario for Veta. Now a 1 versus 2. And with Sicko being heavily tagged, yeah, he's on a 3k, but he is in a situation where if you breathe on him, he would drop. Looks like Veta has chosen to retreat entirely and just hang on to his AK. So that will be 12 on the board for Parallax, and NSPR left in an interesting position. Perhaps a stronger position than they otherwise would have been if they didn't take so many members out. It's thinned the economy for Parallax and bolstered the buying power for NSPR, given they have to drop one less rifle. The wealth will be shared around a little bit more. But still, a FAMAS on 789, but full utility. That could be a difference maker. Going at a stalemate, the bomb's still at bottom mid, still wanting to get a pick. Grass Faction seeing Myrol's head on top of Quada will promptly get rid of him and tell him, get off of my roof. Another early man advantage for Parallax. Olivia potentially caught with a nade out, but did get his grace saved by the Parallax members, not wanting to advance just yet. Sicko advancing a little bit too early and will dispatch of Olivia. Crits will sink Lonsdale for the round, and this could send Parallax into a little bit of a panic situation, moving into 50 seconds left in this round. There is a lone defender for NSPR, that being the big orb. Oh, never mind, that was a FAMAS. The spectator client's being a little bit buggy, which is very strange. Veta trying to steady the ship, but Nick will promptly dispatch of him, and that will be 13 for Parallax. Chris left with no choice but to retreat post-haste and hang on to his AK and utility. It would be very foolish for Parallax to go hunting, and it looks like a pause has been called. Perhaps no better time than now, when you have a potential match point looming for you. Definitely hanging tight. Looks like it is a 30-second timeout. So, in this situation, NSPR have a very interesting choice. They have an AK in play for them. Parallax will be brought up. They have a orb on the back of Raz. Whether he's going to palm that off to Gratisfaction or Sicko, it's unknown as of yet. But NSPR are not in a good position to buy. So if anything, it would look like they're looking to basically play protect the president, aim to keep crits alive, and carry that AK over and make the game tied at 14 apiece. And here we go, round 28 of this WESG quarterfinal. Already with the banana aggression, 3 members of NSPR are there to greet them. Oh, he's digged up badly, that big Raz. 2 of them are now on single digits of HP. Lonsdale will take out Veta. And Nick will be benched by the traitor Olivia. And Lonsdale left all his lonesome, perhaps away from the action and maybe to the detriment of Parallax, but it will be up to the 3 members at Nana to perhaps save the ship. And Gratisfaction will do a good job of that by taking out the pest known as Olivia. And now the only line of defense is the AK on the back of crits. Arrows will span through the smoke and does graze Gratisfaction a little bit. But Lonsdale moving through the library and towards CT's spawn on a quick flank. Bomb is still outside of the site. And crits could be the deciding factor. He is the only man left. 1 versus 3. 2 members heavily tagged. NSPR wants to get the match point. He has to go out guns blazing. Will take out Lonsdale, but takes a lot of damage for his trouble. In the meantime, Parallax has moved to the A site because it is completely undefended. Crits will make his decision whether to try to contest, given both members are very, very low, or just aim to hang on to his rifle and his utility. His utility being the kit on his back and the armor around his chest. It would appear he's just hanging around in the underpass. It's second mid. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. He's just going to hang on to his weaponry and make it very costly for Parallax, though. Looks like Sicko, who is on $12,000. Let's make that clear. They do have enough to buy, but that's still demoralizing. Just dying up for free like that. We are tied, though, at 14. And full utility on the side of NSPR, but we do have a Clarion, a FAMAS on 789, but the Asian scene has a bit of an affirmation for the FAMAS. Some of them are actually preferring it to the M4, which is a little bit curious. Interesting little tidbit. Veta will quickly take out Raz in very strange fashion. Veta will be close to taken out. He is currently on 7 HP, but getting a crucial frag like that very early on will definitely rattle Parallax. Despite how aggressive they've been getting in the opening stages of a lot of these maps, it's still a very scary prospect. Of Parallax moving towards our side. The bomb is moving towards Diggity side, or the quad side, as it were. Our role is being the line of defense that's in the site. Chris being in the pit. Utility is starting to come out. It would appear that Parallax is considering advancing. Olivia will make quick work of that. The push is definitely on. My rolls and crits are holding strong. Now match point for NSPR. And a last ditch effort now for Parallax. They have to throw everything they can at it to prevent this from falling to the tie side of NSPR and bringing this to overtime. We do definitely appreciate you sticking with us in our WESG coverage, watching this barn burner of a game between Parallax and NSPR on CappingTV. And the rollout has gone well and truly into full force. 3 pistols, two rifles on the side of Parallax. Lonsdale will take out my rolls very early on. Could prove the power pistols being a little too powerful again. Lonsdale will scavenge an M4 and take down Chris with said M4. A 3 versus 5 now for NSPR to deal with. They are thinning the herd, but the bomb is starting to go down. Sicko is in the sight, will take down Olivia. 7, 8, 9 is down to single-digit HP, and Raz will dispose of him. Better, who has been an absolute menace and a pivotal man for NSPR, will be silenced by Raz, and Raz punches their ticket to overtime. We are going to extra innings, ladies and gentlemen. We couldn't settle it in regulation, and now we go to overtime. A good half, a good game indeed so far. If conventions and previous versions of WESG are to be believed, we are running on the MR316K system. So that is max rounds, 3 per half, 4 rounds to win overtime, and you get, no, it was 10K, not 16K, excuse me. But the consistency still applies. 4 rounds to win, and 3 rounds each to tie. We do it all again. So we have no excuses for economic woes in the opening round. Firebombs being exchanged very early on, turning Banana into a fiery, fiery blaze of glory. Graz's faction getting the better of my rolls after getting a lot of good shots off. Incredible squad ledger though. Graz moving up apartments, just shoves the barrel into Critz's mouth and lets go, raising him from the round. Sicko will get traded out now. Only the orbs remain for the team of NSPR, and not anymore. Venom will be torched to death by Nick. And now in a 1 versus 3, Olivia has it all to do. Can he succeed? No. Sicko will get the better of him by implanting an AK-47 round into his skull, and that is 16 for Parallax. Given the entire CT side is more expensive and the entire side got wiped out, this may stunt the use of heavy power weaponry, but Veta is giving it another go. The AWP is back in play for them, but it has no utility to back it up, so it's going to be raw aim or nothing. I love their aggression, both of these teams. And 7, 8, 9 perched up already, getting the boost off and taking Grad's faction out of the round. So the early man advantage goes to the tie side of NSPR. And Crit standing on top of the balcony. I've seen a little bit of an unorthodox boost that differs from the Dignity setup. Chris will aim to take Nick out from balcony, and he does, but Raz will silence him quick, smart, and Sicko a little bit wary of the spray there, but he will take out one of the members of NSPR, and now it is a 2 versus 2 for NSPR to infiltrate. Sicko and Raz are the 2 men standing for the New Zealand squad. No, Olivia's the only one standing. Wins the duel versus Sicko. Aiming to catch Razways, rechambering, will put an M4 round into the face of Raz. Does he have time? Yes, he does. Yeah, that is a full 10-second defuse because if memory serves, a kit was not bought. That is rounds traded. We're at 16-16 after 2 rounds of OT, and in the last round of overtime, yeah, they won the round on the side of NSPR, but it is going to be a little bit ropey in terms of firepower. Utility, not so much. Raz already eating HE nade. Chunk down to 71. And so going really far forward in this play towards apartments. I was expecting Chris to be there. Lonzo will take down Myros, who's in the site. Will botch the nade in turn because it was thrown after the falling body. And Lonzo will quickly be silenced by crits. Effectively, there's a stalemate, but all the members of Parallax are aiming to do a hit. Better with the orb has been taken out of the equation, so that may make it easier for the New Zealanders to advance. And Sicko making it easier still, silencing 7, 8, 9, and now, just like that, in a blink of an eye, it's all over. 17 rounds for Parallax, 16 for NSPR. And we go into the change. Now, to remind you, the magic number is 19. You have to win 4 rounds in overtime, or else it'll all be done again. So if Parallax wins 2 defending rounds, they will win the first map and move on to the second in the series. And this is definitely a barn burner. We definitely appreciate you joining us for this thrilling ride and an impromptu rivalry of sorts between Parallax and NSPR, a tie versus Kiwi affair on CappingTV, bringing you WESG action. And Raz taking a lot of damage very early on. A double orb setup. Parallax definitely not wanting to skimp. Getting really aggressive with Gratisfaction taking out crits. Lonsdale being a little bit far forward, they'll be trading out. Quick as you like. Raz will take out 7, 8, 9, making it 3 versus 2. I see 3 orbs on the side of Parallax. I am terrified at the moment. The bomb is down in Banana. And both the members in Banana, that being Raz and Sicko, they'll be watching that like a hawk and basically locking NSPR out of having any avenue back in. And they're trying to keep them at bay. Maybe this double orb setup, quite literally at the moment, may end up backfiring because they do have a rifle in the back pocket of Olivia, and now it is a 1 versus 2. Raz will win the duel versus Veta and will leg the last man of Olivia. Now it is a 1 versus 1. The duel is on. And oh dear. Tension is mounting hard. The tension mounted so hard it broke our connection to the server, it would seem. And we no longer have a feed, but I do have a scoreboard. I can confirm that Olivia actually won that duel versus Raz, and we are tied at 17. We are into round 35. We're now into 3 versus 3 now. But it will take out Raz. Now, a 2 versus 3 for Parallax to try to salvage that very strong opening round of the second half. It could be slipping through their fingers. Now, a 2 versus 2. Quickly made it to a 1 versus 2. Nick versus Veta at 7, 8, 9. The bomb is now down for the attacking side. Now it is up to Nick to break the now defense of NSPR. And now it is match point for NSPR after Vita will quickly eliminate Nick. And now the economic standing for Parallax is all but done. It is so poor after the bye. The CZ on a majority of the members of Parallax. Yes, head armor. More likely full utility, but it is going to take a lot of manpower to get Parallax across the finish line to bring this to double OT. A real trying time for Parallax to try and salvage themselves. And yes, nothing but armor and a little bit of utility and CZs at the side of Parallax. It's definitely a desperation move. Australians and New Zealanders are good with their power pistols, but this may be asking a little bit too much. I'm currently still watching this game take place. It is a very tense and very strange series of events. 789 will get the better of Alonso now. They're only 4 frags away to getting the first map. Now, NSPR do not have to make any mistakes. They do not have a lot that can go wrong. It is their round and map to lose at this point. The attacking side of NSPR is setting up for an execute. Raz will be silenced by crits. The numbers are starting to thin out. Sicko will get 2 to his name though. We'll keep the CZ going, but will probably be silenced by my rolls, getting him as well as Gratisfaction. Now it is a 1 versus 3 for Nick. And do you have what it takes? Nick already getting tagged up. And Veta watching and putting a 3 threat Lapua through the chest of Nick to give NSPR the first map of Inferno, 19-17, and that concludes our first map of this quarterfinal for WESG, brought to you by CappingTV. My name is Justin, or Cyberwaste, on the internet. I have been bringing you through this journey, and after that barn burner, we will be back very shortly for the second map, which is the pick of Parallax, which is Train. We thank you all very much for joining us here on CappingTV. We shall return very shortly. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and Frag fans from around the world. Thank you for tuning in to CappingTV and our coverage of WESG's APAC finals. We're in the quarterfinals of the brackets, and we're in a best of three between the New Zealand representatives Parallax and Thai representatives NSPR. And we had concluded our first map in a barn burner of a match between the two teams where NSPR had come out on top 19 rounds to 17 in a long, long affair. And now we are moving on to the second map of Train, which was the pick of Parallax. So it may remain to be seen whether or not Parallax will show a stronger effort compared to their effort on Inferno, or whether this will be a 2-0 for NSPR and it will be the Kiwis sent home. And we are currently having a little bit of server technical difficulty after the map change. So in the meantime, we'll run you down your lineups. On the side of Parallax, the New Zealand squad, we have Lonsdale, Raz, Sicko, Nick, and Gratis Faction. And on the side of NSPR, representing Thailand, we have Veta, Crits, 789, Maris, or Olivia, or as he is known in game by his formal first name, Rakesh, I believe. I just lost my note. That was lovely. But they've definitely gone tooth and nail, and I will expect nothing different from these two teams as soon as we do get into the map and into the game. The GoTV at the venue is having a little bit of an issue, so we are aiming to get that rectified as soon as possible. But in the meantime, around the grounds, we have an absolute marathon going on the other side of the bracket between Max and Order. On the opening map, which was Train, Max ended up winning over Order 22 rounds to 20 on Train, which is a long time, no matter who you are and how you play. That is just a absolute marathon for the new squad of Order and the Chinese squad of Max. Love to know what else is around the grounds as well. We have Boot and Rekka also going up. Rekka is up one game over Boot after winning 16 rounds to 10. And now coming up, we also have around the grounds for WESG. We have the MVP PK versus the Chinese squad of New 4, which has only just gotten started with MVP winning the opening round. It's like a consolidation match as well, which is set to get started. It would appear that is a relegation match, between the Hong Kong squad of EMC and the Iran squad of Lipid, which was seen on stream earlier, playing against Order, which honestly it was a little bit of a lopsided affair to Order. So after all that, we've had a GoTV issue, and it looks like we are not gotten it rectified just yet. It may still be something to do with the recent update that was pushed out for the major in Boston, which involves removing a particular item from the game, which was the stickers and paraphernalia for the team 100 Thieves, who were legends going into the major in Boston, but have had to pull out due to issues regarding their visas. So with that, they are no longer there. They have had to move forward, and it looks like the scoreboard's at least working. Unless I am being lied to at the moment. It does appear that the GoTV is a little bit bugged, but the scoreboard for HLTV is working. So we will resume our radio cast. The opening round has gone to the side of NSPR with a huge 2K and defuse from Veta. It may appear that. Let's wait and see. Raz is already tagged up, but 789 will be charged by the Deagle of Gratis faction. To bring up to context, we do have armor and subs on the side of NSPR aside from a scout, and just like that, his scout, UMP-45 and MP9 will quickly get kills on the side of NSPR, and that will be that second round falling to the counter-terrorist side. Again, we sincerely apologize for this little impromptu ragtag setup, but we are doing the best we can given the circumstances. We do have full buys now on each side. We have a full AK round because of the bomb going down in the opening round for Parallax. And 1M4, a CZ, an MP9, a UMP, and a Scout. And in the time it took me to say that, Gratis faction promptly deletes crits and gets two for himself. Taking out 789 as well. And my rolls, adding to Gratis faction's kill count. And now only Veta and Olivia are left standing. A Scout and a UMP against 4 AKs. Nick has put the bomb down. Gratis faction has now got 4. Gratis going for the ace potentially. And that is an ace to his name for Gratis faction. And it looks like 789 briefly dropped for the game, but is now back in the fray. So that is all fine. We'll wait for the round to reset. A pause may more than likely was called to give 789 enough time to rejoin the server and get everything up to speed. Yeah, we are still in a pause. But still, it was a dominant performance in gun round from Gratis faction. Round has actually started. Guns are starting to float around. We have power pistols for the side of NSPR, 2 CZs, and armor on Olivia, who will more than likely be the front runner. Gratis already tagged down. Gratis and Nick already tagged down. But Sicko and Nick will get Fraz their name. 789 being naded out by Sicko. But it will get a Fraz with a CZ75 to open his account for the match. But Gratis and Sicko going to add to the body count for Parallax. Now it is a 4 versus 1 for Veta, who is the front runner so far in terms of kills and deaths. But Gratis faction will silence that. And a absolute barn burner for Gratis faction so far. It is 8 frags and 4 rounds, so there's actually 2 frags a game. 2 frags a round, excuse me. As a brief reminder, we are currently having issues with the GoTV, which was provided, so we're giving you a scorebot radio broadcast for the time being. 7 HP and an orb on the back of Raz, 2 subs, 2 rifles, and an orb on the back of Veta. But the CT side now starting to hold strong, with Gratis faction and Sicko weakening the attack of Parallax. And just like that, it is Nick at a 1 versus 5, and they are very, very angry, I would assume. Very angry and very defiant CTs. Want to keep their momentum going from the previous map, and that is what they will appear to do by wiping them out and keeping 5 alive going into round number 6. As reset, they have bored in on the side of Parallax, not wanting to get NSPR to run away too far and just keep them honest, but they have emptied the coffers to do so. So they're definitely aiming to square up the scoreline at 3 rounds apiece. Let's see if they succeed. Gratifection will put that orb to good use by silencing 7, 8, 9. The big person they will want to silence though at the moment would be Veta, who is leading the frag count and has the most threatening weapon on the back for the CTs. That being the orb, of course. Veta still being a threat by silencing Raz. Chris and Olivia chime in as well. Now 3 versus 2 for Gratifection and Sicko against Veta, Chris, and Olivia. Gratis does get a kill with the orb, but Veta is trading him out. He is still being an absolute mess. Now the man of the hour, Gratifection, in a 1 versus 2. With low HP though, so it is going to be a tough ask. Now he's shrunken it down in a 1 versus 1 by taking out crits. An orb duel. The bomb is now down, and that has turned the positional advantage over to Gratifection because now Veta has to come to him. And with Gratis living on 1 HP, he's barely alive, but still a body in play. It's up to Veta to hit his mark with whatever he can muster. And Veta getting the better of Gratifection with the USP. It's unknown whether he had a kit or not. The bomb will actually be defused. And that is 4 to NSPR and leaving Parallax in a little bit of an unfortunate bind. They may have to take this round on the chin and move forward and let NSPR get to 5 rounds on the board. Yes, they're buying just power pistols and a single shred of armor for Nick. So it looks like they're only aiming to just run in and get this over with as quick as possible. Or else we'll take out 2 and make that 3. And like that, it's all over Red Rover. I was getting his stats pattern with 4 of his 5 kills coming in that round alone. Round number 8 is on the cards now. And it looks like, yes, they have bought fully into this round on the side of Parallax. No orb, though. So either they're aiming to scavenge or they're doing away with an orb setup for the time being. As a brief reminder, we are currently having issues with our GoTV, so we are sort of resorting to a kill feed and radio style broadcast. So we're taking a little bit of damage as well, down to 69. And Lons and Gratifection taking a little bit of damage too, making those M4s a little bit more effective in terms of headshots because they do 94 as opposed to the, I believe it's 120 for the AK. Veta and Olivia will thin out the attack. And Lons will reply, but not by much, with crits taking him out. And crits getting 2 on the round. 2 for Olivia, 2 for crits, and a 6th to the name of NSPR. And Parallax yet again left with nothing to do but to concede a round and move on to the next. All right. Crits and Veta will just basically get ego frags to pat the stats. And there's 1 for each member thus far. And now Nick is the only one left standing with a CZ and armor. That armor could prove valuable, but given how quickly they all ran in and lined up, that is a team ace for NSPR. On their CT side, which is and we move on to round number 10. And it looks like They have elected to go the AWP this time, and they are looking to no longer lie down and mount a little bit of pressure to prevent the CT economy from bubbling. But it looks like it may be a little bit too late for that. Gratis will better 7, 8, 9 in that exchange. Not taking much damage for it either, going down to 73, 75 for Sicko as well. So they have taken a little bit of a licking to get that frag. But Olivia will be taken out by Sicko, and Murrells will put the M4 to good use to eliminate Sicko as well. But being a real nuisance with the AWP as well. Murrells with 2 frags of himself, getting another one to Gratisfaction. Now with 3 versus 2 for Lonsdale and Raz against Veta, Murrells, and Crits. And now just Lonsdale with Veta getting that frag to Raz. So the are heavily tagged, but it means nothing when an AK-47 can put in the work for you. And that has put NSPR in a position where they win the half out no matter what happens. They are on 8, and Parallax has 2 on the T side. With the recent trends of terrain, this is a very poor showing on the T side thus far. T sides are presumably a lot more stronger now, given the recent state of play. So having 2 rounds to their name, not proving to be all that promising thus far. But there are still rounds left. There are still chances for them to bring themselves closer to evening it out. This is how you do it. With Lonsdale and Sicko getting AK-47 frags to their name, Sicko will add a second one to that mantelpiece. And just like that, Sicko will get 3, Lonsdale will get 2, Raz will get 1. And in amongst that entire spiel, a 3rd round for Parallax. And now as good a time as any to try to steady the ship and make NSPR perhaps sweat and go through their entire economy, which they are starting to do. With now Olivia down to 3 figures, but Veta, Crits, and Murrells will be more than capable to bringing that economy back in check. Veta still a damn annoyance with the AWP taking out Lonsdale early on. So a stalemate. 120 left in round number 12 on train. The numbers are even again thanks to Sicko, and now they are in Parallax's favor. Sicko getting 2 frags with the AK-47, and Chris replying with 2 of his own, and Veta backing him up. Now 1 versus 3 for Raz. Raz still yet to get a frag to his name, which is really unfortunate. Now is as good a time as any to get a frag to his name. The bomb is down. The GoTV and the scoreboard are a little bit out of sync, but we have action again. Chris watching over the A-bomb site will take out 2 to his name, and Veta, as I was alluding to, was being a real pest with the AWP there. And now Raz in a 1 versus 3 has shifted it all over to the B bomb site, though. The bomb will start to go down. Sounds like an echo chamber with a really long delay, but no, it is not. Now Raz with all to defend. He has to plant the flag, as it were. Takes a lot of damage, but will take down the fragger of Olivia. But Veta will say that's enough of that. That will be 9-4 NSPR going into round number 13. And if you are Parallax, you are more than likely just shaking your head, thinking this T side should be going a little bit better given the caliber of player that we have on display. We have Lonsdale, Lonsdale and Gratisfaction, two of the longest endearing high caliber players that Australia has to offer. Sicko, current member of Order, former member of Kings, and Raz, member of SYF as well, former SYF roster. And now 3 AKs of Galil and the scout on the side of Parallax, trying to bring back a little bit of order to the proceedings. And like that, the Go TV is wanting to transport us to Dust 2 again. So it looks like we are having more issues with HLTV's Go TV, which is on site. Our sincere, we're making the best that we can. And like that, the entire side of NSPR have been deleting the side of Parallax and bringing them into double digits. And now only 2 rounds left. Wanting to bring this to a 10-5 scoreline, our Parallax, but it's going to be a very tough ask. With as little as they have, they do not have anyone higher than $1.3 or $1.7 thousand to their name. I get to see a replay of sorts, knowing how that action will play out. And that will be Nick getting fragged last. Now back to radio. We are making the best of what we have, but this has been a very unorthodox broadcast. We thank you for your patience. Veta and Olivia will get frags to their names for NSPR and Grinders Fashion. We'll try to reply with a Deagle headshot. And back and forth we go. Trying to square the numbers on the attacking side, but it is proving to no avail. With 7-8-9 taking out Grinders Faction, Sicko will take out crits with the 1 dig, so that is a saving grace for them at 3 versus 2. Now, Veta has made that a lot more difficult, making it with Sicko with all to do, and nothing you can do when you're dead. That is 11 now for NSPR, and a dominant first half thus far going into the final round of Train. This has been a tense game in more ways than one. I will tell you that much. We have also going into the final round. We have full AKs on the side of Parallax, and this will probably delete Raz, and Raz Faction take the better, but will not be able to accomplish much more than that. Now, E trades going 2-1-1-1, and now of Parallax now the 2 now, and just quick. It's at 3k from crits will secure a 12th round for NSPR as we go into the change on Train, the second map of this quarterfinal bout between NSPR and Parallax from WESG, powered by CappingTV and HLTV's Scorebot. We thank you for joining us. My name has been Justin, aka Cyberwaste, and we will wait and see how this entire bout transpires, either via radio form, Go TV, or via the Scorebot. We will wait and see. That unintentionally rhymed, and we are proving we can do whatever we can to bring the action to you. You are tuned in to Capping Radio. That sounds like something that could catch on. If you're watching this in audio only, that would be the most authentic way to experience this this full bout. We have full armor on the CT side of Parallax and 4 members of NSPR armored up, and Myrol's carrying the utility. Raz will promptly get rid of 7-8-9, but Veta again being the absolute menace, taking and setting Raz down for the count so far. And crits will take out Nick as well with a Scavenge USP. So now, again, a very dominant performance so far from NSPR. Not so much anymore. Lonsdale will sit crits out with a USP. They're squared at 3. 2 members with armor on the attackers, 3 on the defenders, and now the defenders are starting to rise up their defense. Grinders Faction will take out Olivia. Sicko will take out Myros, and now Veta in a 1 versus 3. Sicko is heavily tagged, but will it matter? but it's still definitely the force to be reckoned with from the last half, getting 22 frags outright for that first half. Oh, 19 and then one in this round, and their Gratisfaction will probably eliminate the potential rising force. And that will be 3 surviving in the opening round for Parallax. That is a pistol 1. And now the next part of this saga. Will they be able to survive with as many alive as they can to bring the more expensive CT economy to be in a stronger state? Looks like NSPR are not wanting to take this lying down. They're wanting to invest into this, but it is proving all for naught with 2 frags falling for Parallax. Olivia is trying to respond by taking out Gratisfaction, but is proving to be a very quick and rather methodical CT side for the side of Parallax. Now, Olivia, the only frag getter in this round, has it all to do. Now, with 3 to his name, taking out Nick with a Scavenge from Mars, as well as Lonsdale. He has 48 though, so it is a tough ask for Olivia to potentially ace this round, which is what he will need to do to bring NSPR to 13. The bomb is now down though, so the positional advantage is starting to fall to Olivia. Olivia took a lot of damage but did take down Raz. Now Sicko, it is all up to you against Olivia on 35 HP. Does have the time. The time could be running out. It's unknown whether they actually bought a kit. Sicko did defuse the bomb under the nose of Olivia and then promptly took him out with the UMP-45. So that is, despite a very hairy defense from Parallax, they end up getting the round to their name. And given that Olivia did get the frags to his credit for that round, he will be buying up as much as he can to bring himself in line with his compatriots. On this side of Parallax, we have the Scout on Gratisfaction, which is a really nice choice, and Sicko and Lonsdale holding UMPs, as well as Nick and Raz holding the Assault Rifle. Lons will open proceedings by getting a UMP-45 shot onto Olivia. I have to wait and see, because that will definitely stun the attack, if any was planned, of NSPR, and they are also taking a ton of damage with Veda and crits going down quite a bit into the high 30s in terms of HP, both of them on 38 for Veda and 39 for crits. Coming down to 45 seconds. If they had anything planned, it looks like it started now. Raznik's Gratisfaction will quickly dispatch of the potential attack, and now that mere formality has just passes by, with 4 umps being carried over, as well as the Scout. And now we go into round number 18. And yet again, another pistol buy. No, it all caught up to me now. We do have our first gun round on the cards. We still have the Scout in the hands of Gratisfaction, but we do have the AWP now in the hands of Raz. You better try to step up now, but Veda and crits are kicking the legs right out from the defense of Parallax thus far. Sicko will take out Veds, but in the blink of an eye, as quick as you could say, there's a T round coming. The T round is done, and that is 13 for NSPR over Parallax. And that has very much stunted the potential growth of Parallax in the near future. And now the question remains, what do they do next? They don't really have a choice. They have Raz on the shotgun. You more than likely will be going to Pop Dog. Just imagine it in your mind, a Mag 7 sitting at the bottom of Pop Dog. Gratisfaction and Lonsdale will open the frag accounts for Parallax. My rolls will try to respond with an AK-47. Now 4 versus 3 is quick, as you could say it. Now 1 versus 4 for crits. Definitely a not to underestimate, but with 24 HP, he has a lot of work to do. The next thing for Parallax to do would be to wipe out the last threat and then try to scavenge as much weaponry as they can. But Nick will be silenced by crits. And Sicko is also tagged up, so that could be a cause for concern, but not anymore. With crits being silenced by Raz and bringing Parallax up to 7 and bringing the gap ever closer to shrinking. I have to wait for the round to start to see how the buy panned out. We do have the AK carried over. We have 2 M4s and 2 AWPs on Grimes Faction and Sicko, which is a formidable AWP duo, given both of their pedigree. And Raz letting it rip with the AK-47, getting 3 to his name. More ego frags for the side of Parallax, with Lonsdale taking out crits. And now Olivia is all that is left against 5 very angry and well-stocked CTs. And Grimes Faction will put an end to that, and that will bring Parallax up to 8. And NSPR still on 13 with round number 21 on the way. And with everything that the scoreboard will tell me, it looks like they have bought into the round, albeit very shakily. Yes, round 22 has now begun. We are at a minute 40 very, very shortly. Appear that the aggression of Inferno has not been quelched at all by how quickly the opening exchanges have decided to take place. 789 will open it onto Lonsdale, take him out for the round, but Sicko will avenge him and then be traded out. 2 quick trades, all in the space of 5 seconds. Now Nick at a 1 versus 3 across the map, and that will be brought to an end by my rolls by taking out Nick, and it is 14 now for the side of NSPR. Perhaps a little bit of a stirring attack from NSPR, saying, "You are not going to take us down without a fight." Fully bought up on both sides, with 2 AWPs on the side of Parallax and 1 AWP on the side of my rolls. My rolls, which is a very interesting choice. I would have expected Vetter to be carrying the AWP for NSPR, given his pedigree, which he flexed on the previous map of Inferno, being an absolute pest, and on the previous half on the CT side. But Grimes Faction will be taken out by Olivia, so that will eliminate one of the AWPs. And the other AWP of Raz is heavily tagged as well, going down to 60 HP, which will bring him into a closer range for the AKs. Less work for them to do in the future. 789 will sink Lonsdale and Nick as well. We're getting 2 frags of his name. Sicko will prevent him from going any further. But a 4 versus 2, now 4 versus 1 for Raz to prevent match point for NSPR. To prevent them from advancing, and it looks like the bomb is down thanks to Vetter. And if I were Raz, I would retreat and hang on to that AWP. You do not want to give the attacking side any sort of advantage. Another good hit. Now we get to see how that entire round played out. The entire squad just got split apart and ripped to shreds, and as you can see, the bomb will go down now at the hands of Vetter. And now Raz with it all left. He is stuck in Z with nothing to do, just counting the days, and even crits sitting in CT spawn, preventing any potential CTs from falling back. And that'll be the end of that by putting Parallax's Raz out of his misery. And that is match point for NSPR against the side of Parallax. And Parallax are left without a lot to work with. They will have to scavenge and make do with what they've got, but they have a lot to try and succeed with. They do have the Mag 7 and no armor on the person of Raz. No armor aside for 2 on the side of Parallax. So NSPR may not know this, how stretched they actually are. But Raz is all the way back in Brown Hall, but will scavenge a weapon from his shovels thanks to their Mag 7, but Olivia will put a stance to that. Will take a lot of damage for it, though. And it's better being sat down for the round. And now 1 versus 4 for Sicko to keep Parallax alive in WESG. He is sitting at the bottom of Pop Dog, probably hearing all the action around him and above him. He's moving up in Pop Dog, moving towards the Brown Halls. As the call has been made, the call has most definitely been made to move outside. The bomb will now go down on the back of my rolls in the smoke, just to make sure that no shenanigans can occur. Sicko will make it will get a hit onto the trash, also known as Olivia, on HLTV. But the bomb is down. There is no kit on the back of Sicko. If he does not get a wriggle on, it will be all done and dusted. He's just dropped down into Pop Dog. But Vetter and 789 will be there to greet him, and that will be the end of that. 789 will conclude this best of 3 series between NSPR and Parallax, with the tied team being your victors 2 maps to 1, 19-17 on Inferno and 16-8 on Train, and that is where Parallax will bow out, and NSPR will march forward to the semi-final games, which will occur later on in the bracket. We will have to wait for their opponents to surface, but that will conclude the coverage from us here at CappingTV today. Through the partial radio transcripts and the partial frag clips that you saw on both Inferno and Train, that will bring us to a close. We thank you very much for joining us today here on CappingTV. I have been Justin, aka Cyberwaste, and my producer has been Mitch, and he has had the patience of a saint. We thank you all for joining us. Good night, goodbye, and happy fragging.